Well, it's still going on. Serial killing retired Judge Pete. New York drug lords. Still following harassing me. Like August 11th, 22 in the evening, Department of Billy for me, third offense. I want nothing to do with this. Found out it's just that family doing it to her. Earlier that day, August 11th, 22, about what? 1:40 in the afternoon, a woman walks in on the phone. It really is drug lords doing it to her. I worked in Massillon today, and the drug dealers follow me down there. So I'm rambling in my car that, these are just drug dealers, and the big trucks and the other things follow me around. They're just drug dealers, drug lords, or drug dealers. They corrupted a couple of the Portage County undercover sheriffs for a serial killing retired judge that has no authority, or his baby girl. I got to thinking, everybody kept saying stuff about Michelle being so pretty. Well, my one friend, her son's in the hospital. I went to take her cell phone to use. And there was this heavy set blonde girl, ugly and fat, but young. She was telling everybody she was sleeping with Dave. And her some old couple that was with them, kept saying they were going to steal everything I had in life. Well, they said he was dating Michelle, and even Dixie knew about Michelle, and John's kids called her Auntie Shell. Young blonde girl. Okay? And everybody said how pretty she was. Well, he was also supposed to be dating a Lauren, that heavyset, ugly girl, and a dark-haired girl. Okay? I said, let me guess. Because everybody's saying she's so pretty. How much you want to bet she's that 300-pounder, heavy-set, blonde girl that's ugly? She's fat and ugly and makes her fugly. People scattered. I said, that's Michelle, and the fugly girl. And that's the one they had to call Will before and say, I had to explain Michelle to Will, and he understood, and he set it up. No one ever helped her, and it's funny what's going on. No one's actually doing the right thing and helping her. And they're in Walmart 62, August 10th or 11th. You can watch me pull my credit card receipts. Are walking up Michelle's Dragonhead mother, bragging again. They already found the tape Memorial Day weekend 2019 at the food counter of her screaming out, for it's my daughter, her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spells for my daughter. They did all this for it, and our family watching her doing this. Screaming up for Walmart. Okay? So how much you want to bet? Well, I went down, and I went to the wrong hospital. Tried to get a hold of my friend, and I couldn't get a hold of her. So that fat girl's out on the phone smoking. She's like, I know it's not funny. I was going to steal that cell phone. I wanted it. I know people told me they don't want me around her around them after what we did to her. And someone's yelling at her on the phone. Yeah, she thought she was going to steal my friend's cell phone I was going to give her because her son's sick in the hospital to use. She thought she was going to fucking steal it. Michelle's that fugly girl, isn't she? What they do, call up Will and say, we got a really fugly, ugly daughter, and we'll give you money to set Karen up that no one will help her. You can kill off her whole family because everybody has to be gone, so he'll be desperate enough to marry her. Oh, I saw that in the car today. People scattered. Retired Judge P supposed to get me for insulting his baby girl because I was calling her a prostitute before that. I don't care. He's a serial killer, and I am tired of these rat bastards and bitch bastards taking money from the New York Mafia, the New York drug dealers, in it with a retired judge, serial killer. Corrupted a couple Portage County sheriffs to participate. There's nothing against me. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life, and they have to speak to everyone before they start. Or it's a legal search and seizure. You can't just break in the door because the county has a fugly, ugly daughter for a retired judge. And the cops can't stalk you for fugly, ugly. Trying to get her married off and kill the wife. Because she's that fugly ugly. Oh, they scattered. They didn't like that one. And have to kill off the family so there's no one else left, so he'll marry her. In it, running drugs with the New York drug dealers. Corrupted a couple of the undercover Portage County sheriffs to help out. Yeah, they can't break in your door within the first week because you met fugly ugly. Then she's a good 300-pounder. And she's not pretty. The only thing she is young and blonde and fat and ugly. God of heaven. They scattered when I said that. Yeah, she's not that young, pretty blonde girl that looked at me and everybody left last year. She's the fugly ugly girl that went down there trying to steal a cell phone I was going to let my friend use while her son was in the hospital. So she was out there. No, it's not funny. I wasn't going to steal that phone. I wanted it. I know those people said they don't want me around them anymore after what we did to her. And someone's telling her off on the phone. Yeah. Why would you want serial killers? People that would kill the wife, date rape, drug them, Photoshop shower scenes, have people terrorize them, impersonate federal officers in it with the New York Mafia. And because he's a retired judge, got some of the dirty undercover sheriffs to help out. Brag they made up a case to watch me. Brag they framed me. I have like the stupidest criminals around me. Brag they drugged me up and told on everybody involved for the drugs, told on everybody for the photoshopping. It's common knowledge. When I got the FBI involved, they corrupted. They probably paid that agent off because he retired real quick. And he left me up there to die, and there's no damn excuse knowing my daughter-in-law and my granddaughter was in danger. And, yeah, and he retired real quick because he understood about fugly ugly. They have nothing that's admissible, and everybody knows I'm framed. Even Canton has told people to stop saying stuff to me. They already know all the tapes before with them and not me. They can't break in your door because fugly ugly met your husband. And she's in it with the New York drug dealers, running drugs out of that county with a couple of the dirty cops. Stalk you, Photoshop you, date rape, drug you, relying they have sodium pentothal reports. And these people are so stupid, they're taking drug dealers' money, they don't give it to them. In the meantime, I did talk to the agent. You know, I think he played both sides. He listed me informant, gave me diplomatic immunity, life of peace as an informant, nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you and only for you would we ever do this. We'll always put it back to the traffic ticket, even when it's over. Asked me to remain quiet. That means he knew they were stalking me. He knew the bad guys already knew, and he knew a New York drug dealer probably, or a neighbor went up and pretended to be FBI. That agent is in so much trouble if he knew one thing. One freaking thing and didn't arrest them and got me out of there. Because he would have said, this is crazy, I'm getting her out of there. You can just have everything out, put her in the witness protection program. It's done. At the very least. But he would have had to arrest them if they would have said they were in my house. Illegal search and seizures 1 to 4. Working a case with conflict of interest is 1 to 10. Impersonating a federal officer's 3. Selling police information because he did start a protected life case is 13. Obstruction to justice is 5 to 7. And then the drugs is 20 years per time. And then rape and torture, and then they cut me up on 12/20/118, and rape and torture is 20 to 50. They got like 100 years if somebody would get off their ass. One Starr County Sheriff said it's a big case, but it's odd, but it's big. It's horribly big. And they're blatantly doing the crimes. They were bragging that they convinced the local FBI to stay out of this. Are they staying out of it because Will was corrupt and they don't want to go after him? Then leave him out of it and say he just was neglected and help me. This is where it's got to the point of ridiculous. When you don't do your job, you're aiding and abetting crimes. And setting people up to die knowing there was a hit on a brand new baby and attempts on that life and attempts on my daughter-in-law and my sons and mine. And I lived through a concentration camp set up by a retired judge with the New York drug lords and a couple of dirty Portage County sheriffs involved. And they made up a case before to watch me. They set it at June of 19 at Liberty House here in front of the North Canton Jackson Police. And because they sold the login before Christmas of 18 to a real protective life for everyone to see, everybody knows it's made up. I walked out of my client's house, one client's house in Mathland today, and across the street, some girls like, we all fucking know they made everything up before. They told the rapist, the guy that smothered me and almost murdered me, that he got duped into almost killing somebody. Duped. Completely duped. I live on North Chapel, right by the corner of Chapel Ridge. There's a white building and then a red brick building with a red brick balcony. There's a young couple that's been part of this. And they told the guy that smothered me till I passed out and helped beat rape and torture confession out last week. Outside, I'm in my car, and they're like, they made everything up. What do you mean they made everything up? We raped her. Well, everything was them. What do you mean it was them? They said they taped her before and they didn't care what we did to her. And we raped her. It was all them. What? And he screamed and ran. It was all them. He screamed and left. He almost murdered somebody. And helped torture and rape somebody that somebody framed. And he was that stupid. And he realized he almost killed somebody because they framed him. And they duped him. He screamed and left. Told you, my one client on Shepler Church Road, the house before there, March of this year of 22, I was only there a few days. They told her that Judge Pete photoshopped everything. She tells everything's made up, and it's all framed. She tells everyone. The police already know, the Canton police already know. Because of Ed in the Oakland apartment, the guy at the task force on December 9, 21, told the police and investigators. They've been around for, you framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. You drugged her and told her to say it before. They photoshopped a shower scene. It was Judge Pete and then these other people involved, and then the Department of Disability. There's Camp Police in there. They had told them that I was drugged and told to say it before January 1922. The shower scene, May 12, 22, Bubba's Restaurant at noon, a group of men. And then at KFC, May 26, 22. And then admitting they framed me March 24, 22, 1:30, and witnesses thereof. So they already tell people they're just looking for who's actually doing this to me. It's retired serial killing Judge Pete for his ugly, ugly daughter. And it was some New York drug dealers that they were running drugs with that corrupted a couple undercover Portage County sheriffs. June of 19, Liberty House Sheriff. The main cop that went to Dave that was in the back of CSC Bank was on the phone, made a mistake in front of the North Canton Jackson Police, and because they sold the login, everybody heard. You made up a case to watch her before. That's funny. You did what to her before? That's funny. She must really like him. He told the North Canton Jackson police, the worst thing in front of me, worst thing you ever did, wrong, honey. You bent over and probably we can wipe that one out. Laughing. And the North Canton Jackson police are working security because they almost killed me. Somebody does need to do their job, and the Stark County Sheriffs ought to be ashamed letting any of this happen, being New York drug dealers, a retired retired judge with no authority, and some dirty cops out of their area committing crime right in front of them. They ought to be ashamed. And they knew better, and they know they can't look or listen. Like Officer Reinhardt Louisville, we could never look or listen before the FBI. It'd be illegal. It's illegal to be in somebody's home, and it's illegal to look and listen. You can't break in and stalk for Fugly Ugly. No Photoshop and drug confessions out. And now you have sodium pentothal and comes out their date rape drugs. My neighbor Mike got roofied in a bar. He told everybody he was an astronaut, took himself out to eat, took himself to the bank, came home tight, had changed his shoes when he came to. He could only remember the second beer at the bar. He didn't know he told people he was an astronaut or anything after the second beer. He had to wait till he went back to that bar 5 months later, and they showed him how crazy he was acting. He's sleepwalking. They're human trafficking. They said they used ecstasy on me. Human slave drugs. They're up walking around. Somebody does need to help me.